So, in today's lesson, we are going to, look at the subject of karma, which is action and reaction. And this, we all know that this world is a field of action, and we all are, merely players. We are embodied souls who play a part on this world drama. We play a part in this world drama on this world stage. And we need these powers, which we learned last week, the last class, to be doing the right things effectively, to maintain that integrity in every situation, for us to be, good members of the society and good souls, and creating good accounts, karmic accounts, and so on. So before we get into the chapter of karma, which is also very beautiful chapter, you'll enjoy it. We will ask or request our, divine sister Puja to play a little bit of recording today of commentary and song.
Om Shanti. Let me go on an inner journey. Going within, I come to the awareness of the eternal being that I am, a being of light, radiating light in the center of the forehead. I allow myself to feel the separate eternal entity that I am. I am a being of light, and this physical body is my amazing chariot, an instrument designed by nature to give me all the access I need to relationships, communication, contact with the world out there, and also allows me to share my thoughts, my feelings, all that I need to do to connect with others around me. Staying deep within, I connect with the store of peace that I hold within myself. I let my thoughts slow down and choose the one thought of peace. I am a being of light. I am a being of peace. And I connect to the one above, the supreme, the divine. As soon as I make the connection, I feel the warmth, the love, the joy of connecting with the eternal parent. But now, my parent knows my greatest need at this moment. And my parent surrounds me with an orb of light. It is a light of love, the light of purity, the light of truth. And this is my protection. Wherever I go, I carry this protection with myself. And staying at home allows me to strengthen this connection. And I extend that protection out to all those whom I love the most, so that they too are surrounded by this light of truth and purity and love, but it reaches out even further and extends across the entire planet, so that the entire human family, all forms of life, and nature itself experiences this safety and protection.
भगवान हमारा साथी है, भगवान हमारा साथी है। हम उनके संग संग रहते हैं, वो अपने संग संग रहते हैं। जैसे दीपक में बाती है, भगवान हमारा साथी है। खुलते ही आँख हमें मिलते, हर पल वो साथ मेरे चलते। कितना वो प्यार हमें करते, उनकी पलकों में हम पलते। हम खुश नसीब उनको पाकर, हम खुश नसीब उनको पाकर, जिंदगी हमारी गाती है, भगवान हमारा साथ।
Om Shanti. Thank you, Pooja. Beautiful song and beautiful commentary. So let me see if we can share the PowerPoint. Om Shanti. So we're going to so laws of karma. I'm sure we all have heard the word karma. You know, our human life is characterized by the relationships and awareness and expressions. We see them every day with a variety of people. And, you know, these things cannot happen in silence in the soul world. They require action and a stage on which we act. And actions
Shanti
are
Didi.
karma.
Sorry to interrupt you. The slides are not shared.
Yeah, I haven't started that yet. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So basically actions are karma. Karma means action. Yeah. And actually everything that surrounds me, pulls at me or pushes me, it's a result of my own past thoughts, decisions, or actions. There are no accidents. And we find that we ourselves have created all the conditions in which we find ourselves now, today, at the present. So, we're going to start with karma. So actions are like seed, like physical seeds you'll see. They grow and bear fruit according to the laws of nature. And similarly, seeds of human actions um, and interactions are subject to the law of karma. And, you know, it operates on the moral plane in which, you know, um, we also have this Newton's third law, right? And it operates on the same physical plane. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. And in other words, what you sow, you reap. So the universal law of cause and effect, it brings self-justice to the soul. This means that whatever you do, positive, negative, whatever you think, whatever you speak, however you interact, will come back to you with the same energy. Just like a boomerang. We've read about it. Some might have not even seen it, which is fine. It's something, which you throw and it comes back sometimes even harder. So it's like, whatever energy you're throwing at somebody else or at some event or some obstacle, the same energy will rebound and come back to you. So what goes around comes around. We've heard all of these things, but we never have taken them seriously. You know, there is truly no other reward or punishment. All it means is what goes around comes around, cause and effect. And this law cannot be adjusted or manipulated or circumvented, nothing. And what we find is that this invisible action of thoughts, you know, they actually affect the visible. And this is why we don't often see connection, between karmic cause and karmic effect. So, what happens is, you find that maybe some action which you might have done in a previous lifetime or many, many lifetimes before, you are actually either getting, the prize or the, sorrow, suffering of it now after so many lifetimes. And because you're not able to correspond the seed to the fruit, that's why you're at loss, isn't it? Because we might have done something some other time, maybe good, maybe bad. But if we are getting the return of it now, maybe today, then we are not able to connect because we don't have the memory of those lifetimes. So the time between sowing and reaping is different for each action. It's almost like any physical seed. It takes different amount of time to germinate, to grow, to produce food. So you will see that the seeds of certain actions will bring instantaneous results, while others might take years or even lifetimes to bear the fruit. So this was just a little bit of information on the law of karma, right? A universal law of cause and effect. Whatever you put out comes back to you. As you sow, so shall you reap. Yeah. Because if you sow, a tree of lemons, you will not find, mangoes coming out of it, right? So that is expected, that if you're doing something wrong, fundamentally hurting, causing sorrow to somebody, it'll come back to you in the same, energy. And um, and you can't expect anything good out of that. And you know that deep inside, the conscience knows that I have not done good or right. So there are different types of karmas, three types primarily, basically. Positive karma or sukar, actions by which happiness is given. Such actions would be pure actions. So these actions are purely benevolent. There's no motive or desire for any return, right? Sometimes we do actions just to show people inside our, we need name, fame, acknowledgement. So it's positive or sukarm. Then we have negative or vikarm, actions performed to gratify the senses. Those actions are vikarms based on vices, and they give you sorrow. So most of the actions, which we have like under the consciousness of I-ness and my-ness, which is I want, I need, I possess. These actions sooner or later, cause loss of health, wealth, happiness. And these actions are motivated by body consciousness, negative vikarma. And then we have neutral karma or akarma, actions with neither positive nor negative effects. It doesn't really exist in today's world. And when we go through the cycle of 84 births, what we will, see that the first half of the cycle, when we are soul conscious, these karmas are neutral, these karmas. So they're actually characterized by a completely equitable exchange of energy. There's no gain, no loss, right? Only there's no give and take. It's just sharing from a central pool. So it's three types of karmas: positive, negative, and neutral. Are you able to see?
No, no, Didi.
Because I'm just, so you should tell me that. Oh, you're not seeing that, Vita? Okay. Let me go back. And were you able to hear, or was I on mute all this
No,
while?
yeah, you were on mute.
Okay, wonderful. Even better. Okay. So let's just go back and okay, so I've been showing you all these slides, by the way. So okay, wonderful. Yeah, this happens all the time, so nothing new for me. I'm sure all of you are surprised. Oh, it's not right still. Oh. I'm gonna try to join again. It's not working for some reason. Let me see.
हम तो सदा महफूज हुए हैं दाता तेरी याद में, बिन मांगे सब कुछ है पाया, क्या मांगू फरियाद में। हम तो सदा महफूज हुए हैं दाता तेरी याद में, बिन मांगे सब कुछ है पाया, क्या मांगू फरियाद में।
So I think we can see now. My apologies. You know, I'm very bad with IT. I barely know anything in this. So, okay. So, laws of karma. I don't know. I've been speaking for so long. So did you hear anything at all, Pooja Ben?
So Didi, we heard about Vikarma, Akarma, and Sukarma.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
At least till there you heard, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So we can go to the next slide after that. So the law of karma is based on the premise freedom, choice, responsibility, consequences, motive, and ignorance is no excuse. So we souls have the freedom to act as we wish. Even God can't intrude on that. Our karmas are our own. So the question is, do we believe we are free? So it's very important we understand that yes, we are free to create our own happiness, no matter what the circumstances. Freedom is essential for changing karmic patterns. You know, I was giving an example of when students are here, supposing, and if the ceiling falls down, some will be very miserable, some will be okay, some will be happy that they're alive. So depending on, what their frame of mind is and how they're thinking, their experiences would be. So to be a master of the self, one has to understand that one is free. No matter what may be happening from the past, we are absolutely free to think the way we want to. And once we accept this, we can choose to act in a different way. Because sometimes, or most of the time, when we are feeling sorrow and suffering, that's because of the victim mentality. We are feeling that I'm a victim of this country, or maybe parents, even spouse, employers, right? No one can create your feelings or thoughts. Only we let them create. We let those thoughts come to us. We are the creator of our own experience. And because each soul is free, each soul is totally responsible for its own actions. Freedom and responsibility are actually two faces of the same coin. You can't be free if you're not responsible. An irresponsible person is never free. She's still bound to the consequences of, her or his thoughts, words, and actions. And then we have responsibility, which implies consequences. It's not that one's sorrow is caused by someone else. There might be people around us who are very, very negative, but we have the freedom to choose how to respond to them. Our thoughts are our own creation. We can keep peaceful and be in dignity. And this does not mean at all that we should be passive or letting others do what they want. Sometimes it's choosing not to go down to the same level as somebody else is. Because sometimes if we end up getting down to that level or even more, maybe of negativity or anger or something, the result, you know, could be violence and of course, that becomes your karmic account, right? And then comes motive. Motive is accountable in the result. It is not the act that determines the return. The intention behind is also a factor. And I was thinking about this, when I was very young, I used to leave the price tag, you know, so that people would know what the cost of the gift is. What you, and I know some of my friends, and they would take food to people in need, but primarily at a time where everyone is there so that people can see, oh, she brought this and he brought that. What I've learned over this beautiful learning, this is, some of these are fundamental learnings. And if we practice them, our karmic accounts will keep getting better and better and better. This is motive is the key. It's the intention, the energy which is coming from within the soul. We might want to say, oh, I love you, but inside that hateful feeling, right? So the universe is also everything karmic, the karmas which we are creating. It is creating totally a negative account. So it's very, very important we keep on checking our intention behind each act. Some of these are etched so deep within me now. I just feel, oh my God, you dare not, once you know the karmic law, you dare not even think negative about people. You don't want to. You don't want to create an account which you have to pay later in your own karmas. Yeah. So we need to check the consequences of action as well as the motives. So all suffering is due to wrong actions. They're performed in the false state of body consciousness, right? Ignorance and body consciousness. In ignorance, we have done many, many things till we knew about this law. But it's not an excuse. We cannot say, I didn't know, right? A lot of people say, oh, I didn't know. I don't know how that happened. God says, what are you talking about? You're 60 years old. You can't plead ignorance. You're not a baby. It's a responsibility to know above a certain age, isn't it? So we need to understand that we have the freedom, irrespective of what is coming from outside, the freedom to think, because our thoughts create our feelings, and to feel. And then we know how to choose what we want to think. It's total responsibility, consequences. When we are responsible, consequences are ours. But behind all of this is the energy, the inherent, energy which is generating out of the soul. Is it of kindness? Is it of love? Is it of sharing? Is it of gratitude? Is it of mercy? Is it of compassion? This is what will create positive account, not telling people, oh, you're looking so beautiful. And inside you're saying, oh, this yellow color sari doesn't even look good, you know? So motive is the key, and ignorance is no excuse. This is beautiful. So understanding this karmic law enables us to reduce the weight of the past. Why does it reduce the weight of the past? Because we know nobody else is responsible. I am the one, right? And we can't even beat ourselves up. After a while, we say, oh my God, now it is done. That's fine. We did the mistake. But when others do it, we don't leave them alone. But, when we create any karmic account, anything negative, we are basically understanding that I have done something in the past or, recently, which is coming, as a situation for me. But since I am accountable, you just don't feel it to that extent then, because whatever's done is done, and I'll be better next time. So it eliminates type of suffering, because we suffer more when we feel others are the reason of it. Maybe, situation, people, or even sometimes we blame God. Oh, he did that. Why did he give me this in my destiny? But no, we create our own destiny. So it eliminates that suffering of blaming others. He's the one. If it was up to me, I could have done it differently, right? So it also modifies the course of our life. We are not that, depressed anymore. We feel, oh, okay, I can change myself. This can be, modified. And we start to experience a positive return from your spiritual efforts, right? Understand all the whys which surround your daily life. So there are many questions which surround our daily life. The why and what. Why do things happen the way they do? Why do bad things happen to good people? These are questions, normal things which come to our mind. That person is so bad, but he's very happy and he has everything. And I'm such a good person, but I have nothing. What did I do to deserve this? How can this be? These questions steer the fabric of consciousness. It wastes our time, energy, and leads to unhappiness, misery, tension, you know. And there's only one answer to all of this. This is because of karma. And we do not need to go into the detail of each cause of each situation. Simply understand that sorrow is not caused by someone else, and nor whatever's happening in our life is the will of God. It's not God's fault. It's not Baba, you know, who's doing this unpleasant things. Bad things happen to good people because of karma. So, understanding karma just a little bit more, karmic justice and balance, you know, the law of karma, this is very beautiful. Just try to understand this. The law of karma, it's the silent thread of justice which is running through all of life for every human being. The aim of this subtle justice, it's a divine justice, to keep the balance, which means keeping respect, for the right of all things to exist. And when this respect is lost, there's imbalance, an unnatural state is caused. So what it means is you're having karma, you're doing karma actions, and every time an action is happening, in parallel, there is, something, a thread of justice is running, where supposing if you hit a child, that instant, that instant, that thread of justice, has on it, like a pralab, on which day, which year, which birth, you will receive the returns of this karma. Supposing you fed a homeless, on that instant, It will be written in your destiny. When will the return of that karma will come back to you? It might be the seed sown, which is immediate. It could be returns after lifetimes, or many, many years. We don't know. And there's so many things we don't know about karma, and we are just barely touching like the surface, and there's so much into every chapter. So the law of karma teaches that I am in some way responsible for what is happening to me, and I've caused it at some point in time. And it is a bitter pill to swallow, because especially when something wrong is happening and we are not liking what is happening, the knowledge of karma, is truly pathway to real freedom. So, when we understand that nothing can happen without a just cause, either in a past or, very close past, then what happens is life becomes much easier to face with courage and responsibility, and to some extent, easiness. So, when we accept responsibility for our karma, then the sanskars we develop, it is, responsibility, ability to respond with karmic appropriateness. So karma teaches us that each one of us is the creator of our own little world. And if we choose to exchange love and peace in our, interactions with others, we create relationships based on those qualities. So then karma and sanskars, is like everything one does or produce register within the self as a sanskar. Sanskars are, not only the basis of our talents and learning, it's also basis of our personalities, but it also is the basis of our karmic accounts. So, so karma and sanskars are intertwined, and this is all I have to say in this slide. Yeah, so karmic accounts. So karma is very, very complex, I mean, imagine the amount of interactions for, even if we go and buy maybe toothbrush from outside, how many people we go through, and how did the toothbrush come about? And then it reaches home through so many people. Imagine the amount of, long chain of karmas we create. It's a huge web from which there is no escape. And it's important we understand that we are not individuals acting alone. We act in this extraordinary play of existence with other actors, with matter, with nature. And we are united by this consciousness field. The more we are into this Kali Yuga iron aged world and spiraling downwards, the more we feel we are individuals, we are, nodes, we are nucleuses. We feel so separated from each other. Everything is interconnected. Relationships can't exist without karma or interaction. So in every relationship, there's exchange of energy, right? Either you're giving or taking. So, there are many types of karmic accounts, individuals versus collective. When a plane crashes, for example, there's an earthquake, many souls are affected at the same time. But everyone is affected differently according to their individual karma. Right? For example, 9/11 happened. Two buildings fell down. Some people jumped. Some people died of fire. Some, you know, um, beams fell on them. Some died of lung collapse or ash or, couldn't get down. Everyone had a different variable experience. And that is due to, according to the individual karma, right? Just like our nations, religions, everything carry collective karma. So, you know, in course of time, when a life cycle is happening, we create accounts of karmic debts and credits also, right? So individual and collective karmas are easy to understand, whatever we do individually and collectively. So it's also important to understand that the largest account of karmas are with our significant others. Some people who are not married, if they stay with parents, their karmas are outstanding with their parents or with a partner, depending on whosoever you are. And that is why it's important we understand also that, and this is something which we are not taught, but our understanding when you kind of extend it. Sometimes people say he's gay and this and that. And it's important we understand that if two souls have karmic accounts, outstanding karmic accounts, and supposing this is the last birth of the cycle, they will have to come together. The soul itself does not have any sex. When it comes in the body, it takes the sex of a male or a female. And it's important to understand that there is really no other way to clear the karmic debts but to come together, right? So it is just a thought. Nobody teaches us this here. But account of karmic debts and credits are also generated. Account of karmic debts occur when we have disrespect for people or things. And when we say misuse them, abuse them, we blame others or tempt them to engage in actions that are typically very harmful for themselves or others. Negative karma is a state of imbalance. That is when we create karmic debts, right? So they are state of imbalance mentally, maybe even spiritually, physically, and state of imbalance is created. And then we have karmic credit. That is also possible. Charitable acts, gives us temporary credits. It's like positive karmas give us credits, like giving peace, happiness, love, thoughts, words, and actions of highest caliber, having pure feelings and good wishes for everyone, and creating happiness in someone's life. All of these are charitable acts which create karmic credits. So karmic debts and credits are simple thing to understand, nothing very. So settling karma. How can we settle our karmic debts? The hardest way to do this is through simply, reaping what we have sown through suffering. Whether in the form of physical illness, mental or emotional problems, sometimes financial crisis, there's upheaval in relationships. Often we find that reaction to suffering increases rather than settles karma. When we don't have the right consciousness and we are suffering, there's sorrowful, there's negativity, we create more karmic accounts. And also, there is no karmic debt that can be settled on the principle an eye for an eye, right? उसने मेरी आंख एक आंख निकाल ली, मैंने भी उसकी, उसने एक झापड़ मारा, मैंने भी उसको मार दिया. No, this does not settle anything. But there are easier way to settle, when you're suffering with the right consciousness. Hey, I did something and now I am clearing my karmic account. That helps a lot. Last 3 months I had quite a few times flu, and I was looking at myself in the mirror smiling. Okay, one karmic account down, and then I would fall with this flu again. And so these karmas, I don't know, past lives, this life, whatever negative karmas I've done, we are clearing. We all are going through something or the other. And I was looking at it, till the time it's in small, little, ways, it is easier to handle. Sometimes people have to go through really very, very difficult times. Suffering can be very, very challenging for them. So the easier ways are soul consciousness, conscious service, and yoga power. So we have understood clearly the difference between soul and body consciousness, actions done in soul consciousness and in body consciousness. So those, actions which are performed under body conscious actions, they can create debt and can be stopped. But when we perform actions in soul consciousness, which is also called the eternal consciousness, it benefits us, it gives us happiness, it gives others also happiness. Then conscious service is that you can repay your outstanding debts by serving the souls from whom you have, karmic accounts or you have taken, right? So in this lifetime, we know at least what we have taken from whom, and we must clear those at least accounts. We must also, clear accounts of forgiveness, the power to forgive. And it comes out of power to love. We can only forgive those whom we love. So we must love everyone. Easier said than done, but it's not impossible. If you forgive, then you're automatically forgiven. Because when you're forgiving someone, someone else is from somewhere else is forgiving you. And forgiveness stops the cycle of violence. And the better version of this is you forgive and don't look back. God doesn't want us to play God. Don't judge him, judge you, judge others. Just don't argue like a lawyer. Just be light, just move forward. One's own attitude of forgiveness and love will restore our karmic balance. And of course, the third one is, the yoga power. So, we can accumulate a lot of yoga power. It's like an income, which we earn when we connect with ourselves and with the supreme consciousness, with God Himself. And with that, we are able to pay our debts comparatively quickly. So yoga power is also very, very good, because once we have the power, we can also help others. We have, supposing, accumulated peace, we can give them vibrations of peace, happiness, love, purity, whatever they need, and also get rid of their misery, to some extent, at least give their soul the power to think in the right direction. So easy way is soul consciousness, conscious service, and yoga power. So karma yoga is connecting to yourself and the supreme while doing karmas throughout the day, right? It's a way of life. This meditation, Raj Yoga meditation, is not, sitting on two separate or three separate occasions. It's just that throughout the day, are you connected in the soul conscious state, and are performing your actions? So this karma yoga transforms one's life and also helps transform the world, because the vibrations you're emitting are of, happiness, peace, purity, love, all of those good things. So spiritual consciousness in action is revealed by attitude, expression, and vibrations. It's important we realize that our attitude and expressions, they reveal the degree of spiritual consciousness we are in. Our, thoughts, which are underlying thoughts and feelings, are revealed through vibrations. You don't have to say a word. The vibration you're emitting, people will understand exactly what your state of mind is or what you're thinking. We cannot hide these vibrations. Others feel these vibrations. And if our words are positive, but our inner attitude is negative, people will sense the vibration behind our words. And you must have noticed, even you can sense it. And the spiritual behavior is characterized by quality, value, and essence. When we maintain the elevated consciousness of a positive attitude, we add quality and value to our actions. Elevated consciousness, which is soul consciousness. There's one action which you can do either with joy or with compulsion or with resentment, right? In any case, you will accomplish your task, but the results will be very, very different. Cooking is one such example. You can taste the meal and if it was made with love, with compulsion and haste and unhappiness, right? So behavior is characterized by these things. Because if spiritual behavior, you will find that action of a person is inspired, the spiritual consciousness will be very, very essential. So the action of a person in spiritual consciousness will be very essential. So that person will be very essential he will not go in expansion, not be thinking or doing, things which are unnecessary, minimalistic in words and gestures and actions and things like that. Very a senseful person. Okay? So ultimately, we have our goal is to become karmatik, free from effects of bondages of action, completely liberated from cause and effect. So when we come in Brahma Kumari, that becomes our goal. That can we reach that stage? Can we better ourselves, I the soul, to that, limit, that we become liberated from cause and effect? And our founder, Brahma Baba, became karmatit. The soul became so pure that it could not be contained in this impure body. And 33 years of this, work on himself, he became karmatit, completely liberated from cause and effect. So this is a doable thing. It is not merely in words, achievable goal to become karmatit. Om Shanti. So this is the chapter on karma. So what we're going to do is we're going to request, if you have any questions, please write it on the regular chat, and we'll request Pooja Ben to play a commentary song, whichever, sequence she wants to. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Didi. So should we take up the questions after meditation?
Let's finish that. Yeah. Let's finish that. Yeah.
को हटाते हैं, कुछ क्षण के लिए बाहर की सभी बातों से अपने ध्यान को हटाते हैं और सिर्फ अपने कर्मों का हिसाब किताब देखते हैं। कई ऐसी आत्माएं हैं जिनको मैंने इंटेंशनली या अनइंटेंशनली दुख दिया, या कभी मैं सोचता हूँ कि उन्होंने मुझे दुख दिया, लेकिन इस सारी प्रोसेस में कर्मों का खाता बन चुका है। तो आज मैं आत्मा परमात्मा से शक्ति लेकर इन सब खातों को चुकता करता हूँ। भ्रुकुटी के मध्य में मैं चमक रहा हूँ। शक्तियों का सागर परमपिता परमात्मा परमधाम से शक्तियों की लाल किरणें मुझ पे बरसा रहा है। मैं शक्तियों से भरपूर हूँ। अब इन किरणों को सबसे पहले मैं उन आत्माओं को देता हूँ जिनको मैंने कभी न कभी दुख दिया। परमात्मा मेरे द्वारा उन आत्माओं में भी शक्ति भर रहा है। उन सब आत्माओं को सामने इमर्ज करके मैं दिल से उनसे क्षमा चाहता हूँ। वो आत्माएं भी परमात्म शक्ति मिलने के कारण मुझे इस अकाउंट से मुक्त कर रही है, क्षमा कर रही है। दूसरी तरफ वो आत्माएं हैं जो मुझे लगता है इन्होंने मुझे दुख दिया, लेकिन अभी मुझे ज्ञान है कि मुझे कोई दुख नहीं दे सकता। उनको जो करना था उन्होंने किया, लेकिन उनके कर्मों को देख मैंने दुख लिया। तो सबसे पहले मैं अपने को क्षमा करता हूँ और फिर उन आत्माओं को भी इस अकाउंट से मुक्त करता हूँ। कोई भी ऐसी व्यक्ति है जिसको मैंने अंदर पकड़ के रखा है, कोई भी ऐसी बात है जो मैं भूलने के लिए तैयार ही नहीं हूँ, आज यही मौका है, मुक्त हो जाए, फ्री हो जाए। उस बात से, उस व्यक्ति से मुक्त। मैं हल्का हूँ, मैं फ्री हूँ। मैं मुक्त हूँ। अब परमात्मा मुझ में अनंत शक्तियां भर रहा है। मुझे आगे के लिए अच्छे कर्म करने की प्रेरणा दे रहा है। मैं आत्मा श्रेष्ठ कर्म करने के लिए अब तैयार हूँ, शक्तिशाली हूँ। मैं शक्तिशाली हूँ। ओम।
Thank you for the beautiful, soulful commentary, Puja Ben. Beautiful. And thank you for the beautiful song as well.
Maybe we have few questions in the chat.
Okay.
So I'm reading them one by one. So Uma Suresh, she asked, are karmas classified as positive, negative, neutral based on the external action or the thought motive behind it?
You know, karmas are classified into all of these three based on the intention or motive. You know, the seed of karma is a thought. And so the quality of seed determines the quality of the fruit. So, whatever is your thought, the intention, the energy which is radiating out is going to decide what exactly you're going to get in return. That karma will decide that. It is absolutely internal, nothing external. You can show you are the greatest, sweetest, happiest, but it doesn't mean anything if the energy which is generating out of you is saying something totally different, because that energy is going to define your karma. Yeah.
Yeah, the next question is, if someone has been mean to you, it doesn't seem easy to forgive or forget. How to forgive and forget easily without feeling like you gave up?
I know. Not easy by any means, especially, we are living in the world where eye for an eye is the way to go. But, Bhaiya, one thing which comes to mind is that, everyone has to see their own accounts. Everyone has to see their own karmic accounts. And truly, it doesn't matter what somebody else has done, because that will go in his or her karmic account. You don't know when the returns of that bad action will be, but you don't want to create any karmic account which is negative, which will generate sorrow and suffering for you in the past, in the future. Because till now, whatever we have done, we didn't know to that extent how the karmas come back to us. But now that today we are more knowledgeable, our actions today, starting now, have to be of that consciousness that whatever I'm creating will give me the pralabdha or the future destiny. So I will be aware, more aware in my karmic, actions and thoughts and words and deeds and interactions. So uh, to me, it doesn't matter even if somebody beats me up, kicks me, give me galis, abuse me, accuse me, because to me, now the thing is, what am I doing that is going in this bowl or in this bowl or whichever bowl of my karmic accounts? I just don't want to return anything negative, because if there's anything negative which is coming from outside, whosoever has sent it is going to bear the brunt of that. I'm not going to worry. I have enough to worry about my own karmas of the past, which are coming, which I don't remember in past lives and whatever. So now to create more, it's hard to do, But when you get into soul consciousness is that divine energy, or the way to look at the goodness, in others, the beauty in others. And also, behind that uh, layering of negativity on people, there is that innate goodness in each soul. You learn to look at that innate goodness and the beauty in each and say, okay, I'm not going to worry. You know, I'm a beautiful soul. I'm eternal. She's beautiful. He's beautiful. They're eternal. And, mistakes happen. People, it's not that we are perfect. Nobody's perfect. We are all, even today, doing mistakes. And so forgiveness and forgetness, this is another thing we are told that many times, people say, oh, I haven't, I have forgiven, but I haven't forgotten. And Baba says that if you haven't forgotten, that you have truly not forgiven. So that is also one of the things which we need to remember. But looking at your question, if someone is mean, it doesn't help because it doesn't clear any karmic accounts. You're creating an extra karmic account or a few others by just thinking about their negativity and thinking about what I need to do in return of what they have, sent my way. So it's easier to forgive and to forget and just leave it and let the karmas pan out. You will be surprised. Good things will happen.
There was a follow-up question on
Yes,
that.
yes. So, and this is going into the depths of karma, which is normally not in the part of the course. But since you have asked it, yes. So, what happens is, Baba tells us that, bache, say, supposing there is a mother in law and a daughter in law, and mother in law is giving very hard time to the daughter in law. In the past lives, somewhere, the relationships of the two souls were such that there was a dominance of, daughter-in-law's soul, which gave a hard time to the mother-in-law. And so in this lifetime, so it's not necessarily, it could be a teacher and a student, or a father and a child, or any relationship, that there was some suppression, and that it's like saying that, in this lifetime, you're not wearing the white sari you were wearing in that lifetime. But the soul recognition happens because these are all subtle energies at work. This is, basically, so the soul will say, oh, you did this to me. The minute instantly you are in the same vicinity, it's like, okay, I need to ask, you know, or get back this from this soul. And this is exactly what happens. This is what it is. In the past, you know, okay. So, is there any other question? I don't know if I was able to answer it, but this is the only answer to this, that yes, this is a fact. And this is what we are told, that yes, the karmic, accounts of the past come to haunt us. And basically we are going to clear it no matter what, whether you do it happily or unhappily, you will have to clear those accounts. Does that help you, brother? Okay. You're welcome. So it's always good to have soul consciousness, because we'll be positive no matter what the situation is coming. Our, thinking will be positive about people, about situations, obstacles, anything. And that is the consciousness God wants us to have, so that we don't create more karmic accounts just by, you know, because if a situation comes, we just jump and we want to take control and be on the driver's seat. God says, become a detached observer. Just look at it. It's come. Now don't react, but respond. with that karmic appropriateness, and you will be okay. So slowly, you learn to do that. It becomes easier. Yeah. It's a beautiful chapter. I love the chapter on karma. For me, it has paved the foundation for so many things, and I feel that this chapter has taught me beautifully, what are my next move. And it's not that I'm still perfect. I'm in the phase of learning, but definitely much better than what I was. I'm still learning, still a student, and a lot to learn. But it has definitely increased my quality of life. Just to get some basic points out of this chapter and the first chapter on thoughts, if you take these two chapters and take out 10, 12, 15 points and just practice them, bring them in your life, your life is done. It's big. It's just, you will feel that you're going towards divinity. You're becoming divine simply by living it. Those points. It's very beautiful. So it's a good way to live your life. Good way to live your life. Yeah. All right. So if there are no more questions, we will, say, have the most wonderful day with Baba, with God. Keep God with you in your life, and we will, which is consciousness, supreme consciousness. And what we are going to do is see you again tomorrow at 7. Lots of love. Om Shanti.